I come from the Awareness website, awareness.website, with Awareness Tai Chi for this week. And man, we're getting up there. We're at moves 99 and 100. So snake creeps low and step up to form 7 stars. So hang in there. We'll be right back. Okay. So we are up to 99 and 100, so we've only got a handful of moves left to go here. Yay! Getting there, getting so close. So with this move, this is the second snake. So number 99, snake creep, so it's a second snake, and I look at it as the easy snake, because you're coming up, and it's a lot easier to come up out of this one than it is the previous snake. So coming in to step up to form 7 stars, it's quite simple. So I do suggest that before you start doing the video here or start doing the move, warm up a bit. Do some Danyus, do some snakes, get the hip joints loosened up a little bit so it's a little easier to do it. Don't just jump into it cold kind of thing. So warm up, get things stretched out. Yeah, do the snake exercises. And that'll help you build up some strength, but it'll loosen things up a little bit. So getting into the snake will be a little bit easier. Had a fairly good workout at the class this morning, so I'm all warmed up and ready to go. So let's get into it. So like the other snake, we start with the whip to one side, and then we drop down to the snake and then come forward and come up into form 7 stars. So keeping it balanced. I'm going to pick on somebody here today too, so watch out. So doing the snake, you can open it up, a little bit, but don't get it too wide. I'm going to talk about that here in a second. So from the whip to one side, whip out. So the first thing is you push from the front leg, open up the back foot, open up the front foot and sit down. Pivot the foot, come forward, cross, place the toe, push up. I remember when I started, the habit was to get it really wide. So a couple of instructors we had in our club, they would open up this foot and then they'd walk this foot out really wide and give it a nice stretch, but then coming into this part makes it really wide here, so it's really hard to get into the front leg. You've almost got to like leap from the back leg. So and then I remember at a workshop Mr. Moy was talking about you don't need to get it wide. Really, you should be able to do a snake pretty much from a toyu, which kind of popped a few eyeballs and stuff. But so when you got the toyu, so when you do the whip, you push out. So when you open this foot, the body turns, so 90 degrees here. And then when you push this foot out, you just open it up a bit. So now you should have your snake stance at this point, so what you normally would practice with. So you should be able to do a snake. Sometimes if things are a little tight, maybe move this out a little bit more so that when you pivot this foot and pivot this foot, might do a little bit of a walk to give yourself a little bit more room. But again, don't go too far with it. Now here's where I get to pick on somebody, and Mary, I wanted to talk to you about this before and I forgot. So don't move the back foot. So don't step back like this, because now you're falling into the back foot. It's just a pivot and a turn. So you just turn it. It's not a step, so you don't want to step back. So I'm having fun picking on you here. So when you step back and you're stepping way out here, it's getting too wide and a little bit off angle. So when you're from the whip here, you turn the one foot, turn the other foot on the toe, pivot it out, and then sit down. and then come forward. And that way the leg is under you when you come up and push up. So getting the body to turn is fairly important. Turn, turn. The arms stay balanced. So pretty much stay in the whip to one side position and keep them lined up with the legs. Don't, quite often you see people do this, is they scrunch in and try and hold themselves up. Keep it open. Lots of variations. You see some people will drop the front hand down, sometimes crunching this in. Keep this open. So keep this arm lined up with the right leg. Keep the left arm lined up pretty much over the knees kind of thing. That keeps this all open. Depending on your flexibility, you might have to angle forward quite a bit. Try not to let the body fall. So you sit into the hips. Open, open, sit into the hips. Keep this open. Pivot the foot. Bring the arm through. So right away, get that arm through to the front. So that sort of turns the body, gets the body turning to the left. So you open here, you'll sit down. When this foot pivots, bring the right arm through to cross underneath, and the body turns to line up with this 45 degree that the left foot has just made. Bring the toe forward, so it's just a half step, touching the toe, and then you push up from the back leg, 2 fists crossed. It's forming 7 stars. So try and keep the balance, pushing from the back leg. Push out, open, sit down, keep the arms balanced, pivot the foot, arm crosses underneath, making 2 fists, place the toe, and then you push from the back leg and let the body express up. So the arms are expressing out. Don't arch back and don't push forward. Just let the arms rise, much like we do with the Danyu. They come up, and then you'll be going into the next mixed move where you're stretching the spine and sitting down. But that is next week's video. So again, pay attention to the turning. So getting the body lined up with the sitting. It makes it much easier to sit down. If you're trying to stay forward and trying to sit down, it's very hard. The leg isn't lining up properly. So you got to get the body turned open to open up the hips nice and wide to sit. Okay, so sorry Mary, I know I was picking on you, but work on that. Try not to make that big step to go back. And so I think that's all. Like I said, this is the easy snake. Coming out of this one, you're coming up with the toe in front into form 7 stars. So the other one coming up on one leg, a little trickier. So getting that half step in front is a little bit easier. Can't think of much else to say about this other than you need to practice it lots, do lots of snakes to open it up so that drop is much easier. And so work on keeping it in a smaller space if you can. Once the joints get looser, it makes it much easier. So let's do some follow through, or follow along. Man, I keep calling it follow through. Follow along. So we'll go from the whip to one side. So standing up on the right leg, turn and relax, step out, push out. So weight's in the front leg, so push out of the front leg, open up the back foot, turning to the right, open up the left heel, sit down, keep the arms balanced, pivot the front foot out, bring the fist to the front, turning to the left, place the right toe in front, push out of the left foot and turn forward. So at this point as you come up, you'll be squared to the front. Okay? Whip to one side. So push from the front foot, open, turn to the right, left foot out, sit down, pivot the front foot out, cross the fists, place the toe, push up. One more time. I know the right leg gets a good workout, so you'll have to do some more snakes later to balance out the left foot, the left leg. Push, open, open, sit. Pivot, cross the fist in front, place the toe, push up. Okay, let's do one this way. So whip to one side. Where do you start these moves, man? So push from the front leg. Turn and open the back foot, open the front foot, sit down, pivot, cross the fist, place the toe, push up. Turning to the front as you push up. Okay, one more time. Whip, open, push, open the back foot, open the front foot, sit, pivot, cross the fist, place the toe, push up. Okay, so play around with your easy snake, and as always, like us on Facebook, check out the website, send us comments, subscribe to the channel, all that good stuff. I'd love to hear from you. We'll let you know what's going on here in a bit. I know it's been a busy summer for us and everybody else too, so we'll get caught up and we'll talk to you next week. Bye.